Throughout history, the parting of the Red Sea, as described in the biblical book of Exodus, has captured the imagination of people around the world. This miraculous event, where the waters were divided, allowing the Israelites to cross to safety while the pursuing Egyptian army was engulfed by the returning waves, has long been a source of fascination and debate. Was this truly a supernatural miracle performed by the hand of God, or could there be a more scientific explanation for this dramatic episode? In this video, we will delve into the biblical account and explore the various perspectives that have been put forth by scholars, archaeologists, and scientists over the years. The biblical narrative presents a vivid and captivating description of the Israelites' exodus from Egypt and their encounter with the Red Sea. According to the book of Exodus, the Israelites, led by Moses, had been enslaved by the Egyptians for generations. After a series of plagues that struck the land of Egypt, the Pharaoh finally agreed to let the Israelites go. However, he quickly changed his mind and pursued them with his army, determined to recapture them. As the Israelites reached the shore of the Red Sea, they found themselves trapped, with the sea before them and the Egyptian forces closing in behind. At this critical moment, the Bible tells us that Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the waters to part, creating a path of dry land through the sea. The Israelites crossed over, and when the Egyptian army attempted to follow, the waters returned, drowning them all. This miraculous event is often seen as a pivotal moment in the Israelites' journey to the Promised Land, a dramatic display of God's power and protection over His chosen people. The parting of the Red Sea has become a symbol of hope, deliverance, and the triumph of faith over adversity. However, the scientific community has long debated the plausibility of such a dramatic event occurring through natural means. Some scholars have proposed alternative explanations, suggesting that the parting of the sea may have been a natural phenomenon that was interpreted as a divine miracle by the biblical authors. One of the most intriguing scientific theories is the idea that the crossing of the Red Sea could have been facilitated by a unique tidal pattern or wind event. Some researchers have suggested that the Israelites may have crossed at a location where the sea was relatively shallow, and a strong wind could have temporarily exposed a land bridge, allowing them to cross safely. This hypothesis is based on the observation that the Red Sea is known to have areas with relatively shallow depths, particularly near the northern end of the Gulf of Suez, where the Israelites are believed to have crossed. It is possible that a powerful wind, perhaps even a rare weather event, could have pushed the waters aside, creating a temporary path of dry land. To lend support to this theory, some scholars have pointed to the biblical text, which describes the waters being divided and the Israelites crossing on dry ground. They argue that this language could be interpreted as a natural phenomenon rather than a supernatural miracle. However, critics of this theory counter that the biblical account is explicit in its description of the waters standing like a wall on either side of the Israelites, which would be difficult to explain solely through natural means. Additionally, the sudden drowning of the entire Egyptian army, as they attempted to pursue the Israelites, would be challenging to reconcile with a simple wind-driven event. Another scientific perspective suggests that the crossing of the Red Sea may have been facilitated by a tsunami or seismic event. This theory proposes that a powerful earthquake or underwater landslide could have temporarily displaced the waters, creating a passage that the Israelites could have used to cross. Once the Egyptians entered the exposed seabed, the waters could have quickly returned, submerging them. Proponents of this idea point to the fact that the Red Sea is situated along major fault lines and is known to be seismically active. They argue that a sudden geologic event, such as a large-scale underwater landslide or even a meteorite impact, could have caused a temporary parting of the waters, allowing for the crossing to occur. While this theory may explain the sudden and dramatic nature of the event, it also faces criticism from those who question the likelihood of such a precise alignment of natural forces coinciding with the Israelites' exodus. The timing and coordination required for a seismic event to occur just as the Israelites reached the shore, and then for the waters to return in time to engulf the pursuing Egyptian army, seems improbably fortuitous. Some scholars have also suggested that the Red Sea in the biblical account may not refer to the body of water we know today as the Red Sea, but rather a different, and potentially shallower, body of water. This theory proposes that the Israelites may have crossed a different body of water, perhaps a large lake or a shallow inlet, where the conditions were more conducive to a natural parting of the waters. Supporters of this idea point to the fact that the Hebrew term used in the Bible, Yam Suf, can be translated as Sea of Reeds or Sea of Papyrus, which may not necessarily refer to the modern-day Red Sea. They argue that the biblical authors may have been using a more localized geographic term that has been misinterpreted over time. However, this theory also faces challenges, as the traditional identification of the Red Sea as the site of the crossing is widely accepted by most biblical scholars and archaeologists. The logistics of the Israelites' journey, as described in the Bible, also seem to align more closely with the geography of the Red Sea region. Interestingly, some researchers have even suggested that the crossing of the Red Sea may have been influenced by ancient Egyptian beliefs and mythology. The idea of a god or divine figure parting the waters to allow for safe passage is not unique to the biblical account and can be found in various ancient Near Eastern traditions. It's possible that the Israelites, who had been immersed in Egyptian culture during their captivity, may have drawn upon these existing mythological motifs to describe their own miraculous escape. This could explain the similarities between the biblical account and certain Egyptian myths, while still acknowledging the unique theological significance of the event for the Israelites. Ultimately, the debate over the crossing of the Red Sea continues, with scholars and scientists presenting a range of perspectives and hypotheses. While some may be inclined to view the event as a purely miraculous occurrence, others seek to find a more naturalistic explanation that still acknowledges the profound spiritual and historical significance of the Israelites' exodus from Egypt. One thing that is certain is the enduring power and impact of this biblical narrative. The crossing of the Red Sea has captured the imagination of people for millennia, inspiring art, literature, and theological reflection. It remains a pivotal moment in the Judeo-Christian tradition, a testament to the unwavering faith and deliverance of God's chosen people. Whether the parting of the waters was a supernatural miracle or a result of unique natural circumstances, the story continues to resonate with believers and non-believers alike, reminding us of the power of faith, the resilience of the human spirit, and the enduring mysteries of the natural world. As we explore the various theories and perspectives surrounding this captivating event, we are reminded of the richness and complexity of the biblical narrative, and the ongoing journey of understanding and interpreting the sacred texts that have shaped the course of human history.